it like cuts off my head right there.
Okay, I can also raise these. I think it's probably gonna be a lot of ground stuff.
Wait, when the host appears, will I only see them?
All right, for those of you who are already logged in, do me a favor, if you would, and please just mute your video feed. Otherwise, the screen is going to bounce around all over the place. So we've got a couple more minutes before before we're going to start. If you want to kind of limber up a little bit, do some stretching, do a little warm up. We'll do a little warm up also as we get into this. But if you'll mute your volume, that would be awesome.
I want to see the screen. What?
Should warm up. He said warm up.
No, she's.
This is bright. Bright.
The answer is no. Okay. And again, for those of you out there, I hope you also have something a little bit squishy to practice on. So a mattress, a bunch of pillows, something soft, maybe layer a bunch of blankets across the floor. For those of you who have never done anything like a shoulder roll or break fall, you definitely want to have something a little squishy to land on to start with. And those of you who have never done a shoulder roll before, you might also want a pillow. We're going to go over how to do it with a pillow first, kind of how to go through it and practice it without having to worry about the arm position so much. All right, so just real quick before we bow in, if you guys can hear me, please wave at the camera. Yeah, all right. If you can't hear me, you need to turn your audio on, but not the record. All right, so first let's go ahead and bow in. Everybody hand to me together. Yep. Kyungmi. Sangam Spirit of Taekwondo. Shichup. Sir, I will practice in the spirit of Taekwondo with courtesy from fellow students, loyalty for my instructors, and respect for my juniors and seniors. Sir. Yep. Kyungmi. Thank you. All right, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me for our tumbling session. My name is Senior Master Josh Siegel, and I'm going to be doing some basics, and then maybe even some advanced for some people. I don't know if some of you have done some advanced tumbling. It's probably not going to be stuff like round-offs, but we are going to get towards that idea. So the first one I want to cover with everybody is how to do a shoulder roll, and a simple version of that is going to be, if you've never done one before, to start on one knee, and you're going to start maybe even with a pillow. So for me, I went ahead and grabbed just one of these bags. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as my pillow. So I go to one knee, I'm gonna hug my pillow like that and keep one arm in front so that when I roll, I'm gonna let my body follow over it. And I really wanna keep my whole body holding that pillow. So as I roll, I'm coming all the way across and I end up on the other side of the body. So if you've never done a shoulder roll before, start holding your pillow, get on one knee, bring it across so that you're hugging it to your body, and you're gonna start on that first arm and try to go sideways across. You're gonna keep your head to the side of that pillow, like this. There's the basics. Do it a few times. Let me see you go through it. Looking pretty good. Good. Turn that body sideways and put the pillow in front of you so you roll onto the pillow. And then keep going through to the opposite hip. Good. Some of you guys are really good at those shoulder rolls already. So that, if you're still working on just understanding how to do that, I want you to keep working on that. But for those of you who are a little more confident with it, let's take the next step and do it kneeling though without a pad. Same idea, but now instead of a pad, I'm gonna make my arms a circle. Now the thing I wanna do though is turn and point my hands outward. I'm gonna tuck my head to the side. So whatever knee I have down, I'm gonna try to go to that opposite shoulder. And then as I tuck my head to the side, I gotta give a little bit of a push to get some momentum so that I touch this arm, just like if there was a pillow there, and roll all the way through, and I'm coming up on the opposite shoulder, opposite knee. So that is the shoulder roll, starting from a kneeling position, and you might prefer your right side or your left side in front. It totally depends on you. But one of the things I want to encourage you to do, if you can, is get used to putting both, practicing it on both sides of the body. So you tuck your head in, you get that big circle with your arms, and then from there you try to make sure that that arm is touching and the head is away. And as I roll, I go across, and I keep my legs tucked in, so when I'm landing, I'm on my knee again and ready to get up. Now, I like to explain the shoulder roll as a martial arts somersault. And probably you've heard your instructors use that term too. And the reason that we talk about it like that is because when you're doing the shoulder roll, you're minimizing the impact across your spine. So you're taking the impact and distributing it from across your shoulder, your arm, all the way to the opposite hip. And so your spine never contacts the ground except for one small portion as you do your shoulder roll. So that way you're much safer than doing a somersault. So I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. And this time I'm going to do it from a standing position. Did you need to mute somebody, ma'am?
No.
So same idea, but now I'm going to start from a standing position. Again, it doesn't matter which hand's in front, but I like to make sure that as I start, my hands are coming out, I'm bending down, and I'm going to tuck my head to the side. I'm going to bend down, tuck my head to the side. And then I got to have a little momentum going forward when I do that, and I just roll through and move into it, and hopefully I land on the opposite knee. So there's the shoulder roll. And for those of you who have gotten comfortable with that and you're starting to do it from a standing position, obviously you could also do it moving. So you could start walking or running a little bit, and then as you get towards your mat, throw your roll. And if you're really advanced, you can go one side and other side, right? And just get that nice tuck and get those arms out. Turn the head to the side. Abby, that looked really good. Looks like you guys got a good soft cushion too. Nice. Let me see. Trevor, that looked really good, Trevor. Yeah, there you go, Bo. Getting all the way over it, right? Got to start. And at first, you're going to want to do it more from your knee, but you want to give a little bit of a push to get that momentum. Remember, you want to go a little bit sideways. So put one arm out in front and think about tucking sideways. Keep the head to the side so you avoid impact on your head as well as on your neck.
Tuck your head, Camille.
And again, if you want to add more pillows in there, go ahead and do so if you're starting to feel like, ooh, this kind of bumping a little bit. Just a couple more seconds. Let me see. Starting to be pretty cool. Is that Walt? Or whoever's that person signed in for Walt? That looked really good. Whoever did that last one. The three ladies who are training over there? Getting that shoulder roll down. The last name, DeWald. Looked really good. That got a lot better. I'm not sure if that's Mrs. DeWald, but if it is, well done on that. That looked a lot better. All right. Very cool. So again, this is a martial arts somersault, and idea is that we minimize impact. So if we have to fall all of a sudden, instead of putting our hands out, we're going to tuck in and try to roll. Because if you fall with your hands forward like this, the first thing that happens is you hit the ground with your hands, and then those hands get scuffed up. And if you tear up your hands, or if you end up hurting bones in your wrists or elbows or shoulders, then if it's a martial arts, self-defense situation, you're not going to be able to do much. But if instead you tuck and roll, you minimize a lot of that damage. So try to get good at just your basics, even if it's just on one knee, tucking that arm and bring that head to the side, but push through it so you get a little bit of speed. And then hopefully you're right back up and ready to go. A fun drill to do with this, if mom or dad is there, if you've got a good pillow, maybe instead of just doing the shoulder roll, you go through the shoulder roll, right up, and follow with a kick. Right? You could do kind of tuck and roll into a jump kick or into a round kick. Don't forget your big key up when you do that.
I can do that.
You guys are starting to be good at that. That's starting to look solid. Now I'm going to ask you guys, you can have more time working on this as you continue, but I want to go on to the break fall and the backward shoulder roll. So we're going to move on, and we're going to cover the break fall and the backward shoulder roll, and we're going to cover cartwheels and handstands. So we got to leave a little bit of time for that. So while I'm going through a little bit of demonstration, you guys can take a second and stretch if you want to stretch out a little bit more. I see Ms. Gutierrez, good idea. Good job on that. All right. So as we're doing the next thing, we're going to be falling backwards instead of going forwards. We're tripping. Oh no. And we're going to break fall. So the break fall, the way we're going to work on the break fall is going to one knee again, but this time, I'm going to move over to the side so you can see me better. This time, I'm going to work on hugging my other knee. The foot that's behind you has to tuck up towards the other foot. Let me show that again from a different angle. If I go to one knee, the foot that's behind me can't stay straight. It's got to tuck up towards my other foot. When I do that, it shifts my hip a little bit. So that's the side I'm going to try to sit down on. I want you to think about hugging the knee that's up, hugging that knee, and keeping your hug while you do this so that you end up as a ball rolling, right? You're just going to end up rolling. The break fall will be from that knee, pulling your foot in, hugging, and keeping your back arched, slapping the ground just as your feet start to come up. So when we do this, we want to have it, if we're doing it from a knee, We're gonna bring that foot in. We're gonna hug the other knee, so we're making a nice circle out of our back. And then as we roll backwards, we're gonna let our foot come up and just slap the ground. And when you slap the ground, you're slapping the ground down by your hips with the palm of your hands. You're not hitting with the back of the knuckles. You're slapping with the palm of the hands on the ground right here, down by your belt, not up here by your shoulders. You don't want to injure your shoulders. So as I did it kneeling, right, I brought that foot in, I hug or arch my back, and I roll, slap the ground, and then I'm ready to defend. We're gonna go into that same thing, but on the standing position for this. So let's see. Let me adjust this camera a little bit. See if that helps. Yeah, I got shorter. Okay. All right. So from a standing position, what I want to do is I want to have one foot slightly back, and I'm going to slowly bend, kind of like I'm trying to hug my knee, and let my body collapse onto that hip, right? And then roll through. And again, I can slap the ground when I get to that position. But I'm trying to get to this hip. Doesn't matter which hip, but I want to kind of let that knee buckle a little bit, and then start to arch my back, and then let my body go to the side, and then slap the ground. This is going to be the beginning for our backward shoulder roll. So let me just see where people are at with this. Go ahead and give it a try. By the way, Ben, it looked like you were showing really good respect the way you were standing at attention. I really appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Looked like you were really focused. Let's see. Lilia, I'm going to ask you to move your camera to where I can actually see you, because it looks like you are, yeah, little lower, because I can't see your break fall when you're doing it. I can see your head going, whoop. Jayleen, that looked pretty good. Jaylee, that was pretty good break fall. Yep, go to one side, and then, yep, slap the ground. Good. Very nice. Now, the idea here is going to be similar with what we did when we did the forward roll, in that we don't want to have contact to our spine except in one place. So this turns into the backward shoulder roll. The challenge here is that you got to have some momentum to carry you over. So right now, stop and watch a little bit, get in close so you can see. I'm not sure if I'm too far away for you guys, but hopefully you can see as I start to transition, I'm going from one hip, but I'm ending up on the opposite shoulder. And that's really critical on this, because otherwise you put a lot of strength against your neck, and you don't want to have your neck being pushed down like this. So as you try to do this next part, pay close attention to the fact that you want to make sure you're going over to one shoulder. Again, this might be something you want to work up to if you're not able to do that yet, but I want to show it to you. I'll break it down slow if I can. So first thing, if I'm kneeling, I'm going to bring that foot in and I'm going to hug. Now, I'm going to this hip, but I'm going to roll across so I go to the opposite shoulder. And I'll do it on both sides so you can see it. As I start to go backwards, I'm going to give a little push so I have momentum. I'm going to keep hold and roll to my opposite shoulder. Right there. My head did not really touch the ground. Let me see if I can do it from this direction. I'm going to go, let's do the opposite knee. Bring that foot in. I'm going to go from that hip across to this shoulder. And again, I got to get a little bit of a push. I roll and end up right here on the shoulder where my head, right? My head is actually to the side. I can do it on this side, maybe it's easier for you guys to see. All right, so as I roll, I go one hip all the way over, opposite shoulder, my head's clear of the mat. And then push up. So if you want to try that, instead of doing the break fall, you can just remember, keep your head to the side and roll across your body so that you're not putting all that force against the back of your head and feeling it pushing your neck down. That's not what you want. Good. Good. Oliver, it looks like you started really well, and then you just got to go a little bit more sideways. Oliver Anderson, you looked at, yeah. So you're going down from, it looks like you're on your left knee. So you want to go to your opposite shoulder as you roll. Yep. So as you roll back, try to go across to the other shoulder. And I couldn't tell if you made it because you rolled out of the seam, but it looked like you had it. Did you get there? Maria Gutierrez, you're lining up well. Looks good. Can you get the roll? Got a sword on and everything, huh? All right. With weapons. Oh, is that your belt? Okay. I thought you were doing it with a sword on for a second. All right, so just a couple more seconds, and then we're gonna be moving on and trying to do the cartwheel and the handstand. Now, when we get to that, we're probably gonna need somebody to spot us, or we might need a little bit of a wall to put our feet against, something that's flat that you can get to. But if you already know cartwheels and you already know how to do a handstand, then that's not necessary. But I want to go over it at least. So take a couple more seconds. Keep working on those backward shoulder roll. Maria, that was an excellent backward shoulder roll. Very cool. Jonathan, that looked really good. Make sure you're not on your neck. Try to stay off the neck. Across from one hip to the opposite shoulder. And maybe you get to the point where you're coming forward and then right back backwards and up. All right. Good stuff. Elena, it looks like you're getting into it. That was cool. All right, tell you what, so everybody hold on for a second. I want to show you one more thing that has to do with the break fall. And you've probably also heard this from your instructor. I remember it from one of the seniors way back in the day. His name was, or is, Senior Master Scott Sescalini. Anyway, so when he showed me some of this stuff, and one of the things that he talked about, so I'm pretty sure most of your instructors have talked about it or know about it too, is called a tactical retreat. So how you do that is you start with your break fall, and you end up on your side. So when I go through and I do my break fall, I end up on my side and I'm on the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one hand up and one leg on the ground and the other hand on the ground. So this is where I'm going to defend from, and I can move my hip around to try to guard for somebody coming at me, but I'm protecting my head as well as keeping my leg up. So now, in order to get up from this position, we're going to maybe throw a kick with the top leg, and then I teach this second one. The kick would be to move them away. I teach the second one mostly to help people understand where to put your foot. You're going to put that kicking leg down and lift up the other foot and then kick with that foot. Now here comes the tricky part. This hand won't touch the ground. This foot shouldn't touch the ground. You're going to come up on your arm, and with the foot that's already on the ground and the arm, you're going to lift your hip and then swing your foot back and then come up and out. I know that's a little bit tricky. I'll try to do it from a side angle. So again, I'm in the guard position. I'm going to kick. And as I kick, if I can move them backwards by pushing at their leg, and that gives me a little chance to get up, I put that foot down. I want to make sure that this other leg is up so I don't have to worry about putting it on the ground. I'm going to keep that hand up too. I use my arm and that opposite leg, and then I put this foot through and up and out. And that's called a tactical retreat. All right, I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but you can always practice this more, and it will be online so you can review it. But I want to go on because we only have like 7 minutes left. So the next thing we're going to try to do is work on a cartwheel, or also our handstand. Okay, so the way this works is to be able to do a good cartwheel, you want to trust your arms to be strong and long. You got to be able to lock your arms out to let your body, your feet come up and over. And dashing, that looked really good except for the landing. You just got to get your feet down, right? Oh, I see everybody doing some crazy cartwheels. Very nice. All right, we got those cartwheels going. Man. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, for those of you who aren't quite sure, let's go over it a little bit and I'll break some of it down. So the first thing is getting one hand in front of you. I'm right-handed, so I like to have my left hand forward and my right hand back. It doesn't really matter, though. Most people I've found tend to prefer having their dominant side back. So if you're left-handed, then you would want your left hand back, or right-handed, you want your right hand back. And then what you do is you just get that hand to go to the ground, teeter-totter, and let your leg come up. Now at first, maybe all you can do is putting your hands to the ground and then kick your feet around and try to just land on your feet. At first, that may be all I can do is just get my hands to the ground and kick my feet around and land on my feet. But I want to land on my feet, not on my knees and not on my back. Right? Now, as I get a little better, then I can start working a little bit more momentum into that teeter-totter and start going a little bit faster. But I want to make sure that I trust my arms. And I've got to put both of them down and let my body come up and over. And it can be slow at first, just like that, and then speed up a little bit. But once you get it, as I can see on the screen, it's like everybody just wants to do cartwheels. It's just one of those fun things. As long as you have room and you're not going to run into a wall, then it's a lot of fun. And you can do from those cartwheels, you can start working on the round-offs and other things like that as well. Aerials, one-handed cartwheel. Chloe, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Woo! Keep the hands up. Nice. That was a really good cartwheel, Chloe. And let's see, the DeWalt family is doing all sorts of cartwheels really well. EJ, I love the commitment. Try to get your feet to the ground. There you go. That was so much better. Lilia, it looks awesome. I can see your feet going way over the top. I don't know if you're landing on them, but I hope you are. All right, couple more seconds. And I'm going to show you, for those of you who want to try to learn how to do a handstand in the last couple minutes, I'm going to try to show you how to do a handstand. All right, so let's take a look at that. Now for this, I'm going to have my lovely assistant help me. So I'm using a pad, but you could use a wall or you could use a parent. The reason I'm using a pad is when you do this kick up, you want to be able to have something to get your feet against. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my hands on the ground, and then I'm going to kick my feet up, and I'm going to end up holding my hands out and trying to hold my legs up on the pad. Now, if you're doing it on a wall, you want to be about, let's see if I can demonstrate the distance. You want to be about this far away from the wall. So right about there, maybe 1.5 feet, just enough so you've got a little room to kick up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start and put one hand in front, and then just like my cartwheel basically, I'm gonna bring my feet up for my handstand and hold, and then I can practice from there, trying to do my walk and bring the legs down. Now, if you've got a wall nearby, remember, you may only be able to do it a couple of times. You could try it on a bag. Parents, one thing you could do if you want to sort of help coach that is you can use your arm to spot them. But remember, kids, you got to use your arm strength all the way out, and you don't want to let yourself land on your head. You want to hold your body upright. Okay? So if Mrs. Siegel was going to spot me, go ahead and drop that down. If Mrs. Siegel was going to spot me, she would have her arm out to the side like this, right here, man. Right? And she's going to help stop my feet. So you're just going to keep that arm there. And I want to kick up and get to where her hand is, and then let my feet come right back down, right? Come up, and then let my feet come right back down. And that strength, arm strength, trusting yourself on that will definitely help you with your cartwheels. And later also when you start doing roundoffs, all the other tricking stuff, start adding that into your XMA and your creative, well, no, not creative, excuse me, XMA forms. Seeing some pretty cool tumbling. I lost you. There we go. We're back. Couple more seconds. Let me see. Camille. That's looking pretty good. Woo! You did a cartwheel and then went boom. So we went over all sorts of different moves. We did the forward shoulder roll. We did our backward shoulder roll. We did our break fall. We worked on cartwheels. We worked on handstands. And all of this stuff, any of it that you practice, you're just going to get better and better. It's a lot of fun when you get it down. Nice to have a little mat, but you don't need a mat when you get good at it. And the idea is that if you're doing a break fall or you're doing a shoulder roll, that you're doing it really to protect your body, even though it's fun to do in a form or add into one of the XMA stuff, but it's really about protecting our body. We trip, and when we go to the ground, instead of falling and landing on our hands or falling back and hurting our head, we're gonna roll through it. So if you've got mats like normal studio mats, you do the same thing that you would as you're going through it. And then I don't encourage you to try to do it on the street yet, but if you get good at it, then it doesn't matter what the surface is. Thank you guys so much.
Camille has a question.
And let's see, we had a question.
Camille, I don't see it.
Camille, hold on just a second. Let me get you. What was your question, ma'am? Are you ready to bow out?
We can't hear you.
All right. Well, I will get you.
Wait.
Say that one more time. There's a little bit of a delay. I apologize. It's just not coming through, but I'll get it from you later when we do our class. Promise. All right. Again, thank you guys for joining me. I had a blast with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. Let's do our bow out. And then don't forget all the stuff that you're practicing. Just work on it, get better and better. And hopefully we can do some more advanced stuff later on. All right, dialing up, yep. Chungi. Song Spirit of Taekwondo, see Chuck. Sir, I shall live with perseverance in the spirit of Taekwondo, having honor with others, integrity to myself, and self-control of my actions, sir. Yep. Chungi. Okay, thank you guys. I give you a big handshake and hope you guys are well, stay healthy. Stay having fun. Come back and train more with all the masters. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Sir.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
He said.
Have a great day.